Hey everyone, welcome back to another video with me. This weekend is the big football game. It is. Now, if you're like me, then you're just going to watch for the commercials. You're going to run when you hear the commercials. But if you're a big football fan, and if you plan on having small, tiny gatherings, maybe just your family, immediate family, because you know we're still in COVID. But I have some last minute amazing decorations that you can do. Small projects, and you'll be done with each project in about 15 to 20 minutes. You can do this. Let's get started. Okay, what we want to do is think about ways that you can decorate for the football holiday or for the big game day and not have to spend too much time doing it. So if you have an hour, I have some ideas for you. First thing we're going to do, let's sew one of these. Okay? Do you know what this is? This is a can cooler. Keeps your can cold. Some people call it a koozie. It's a can cooler. If you live where it's hot, if you like to hang outside for a little bit, this is the perfect thing, or even in summertime. We're going to sew this first because it's a quick project, and then I'm going to talk to you about the other projects that you can do. Grab the materials. The information is right below. Grab the materials and let's get started. Okay, first thing I'm going to do, I'm going to adhere the interface onto the wrong side of both of my fabrics. I have an outer fabric. I'm not too concerned about the inner fabric, the lining fabric, and I'll tell you why. You can put those over there. When the can cooler is on, you don't see the lining. The lining is hugging the can. So all I want to do is focus on the outer fabric. I'm going to put on the other piece of the fusible fleece so that it goes onto the wrong side of the lining fabric. So I have a print here and I have a solid lining there. All right, that's what I'm working on. You're hardly going to notice this inner lining. So I wouldn't waste, a really good, expensive print on the lining fabric. Okay. Okay, that's on there. We need one more piece of material. I have the interface adhered to both parts of the fabric, the outer and the inner. I'm going to put these face down together, okay, so that the pretty sides are touching. And the last piece of fabric that I told you we need, the last piece, is the Insulbrite. So the Insulbrite is going to go face down. Okay, so it's the top layer. Doesn't really matter which side. It doesn't matter which side it touches because it's lying right in between the inner layer and outer layer. Pin it in different areas. Okay, this will most likely shift when you sew it. Don't worry about it shifting, because what we're going to do after sewing it, we are going to cut off anything that seems like it shifted. That's not a straight, where the material is out of place. Okay. All right. We're going to sew around all four edges. Leave a portion open. I'm going to leave my portion open on one of the longer sides. Okay, so leave a portion open so that you can turn this right side out. All right, 4 fingers is good. Okay, so go around all 4 sides. Now, if you need to, just make sure that you are, taking your time. I'm sewing on 3.0. I do not have a need to put in my walking foot. If you need to put in your walking foot, go ahead. Otherwise, a good denim needle will help you get through the multiple layers. Anytime you're sewing through a lot of layers, a denim needle is really good to use. I love these. Because they are simple to make. And you can make these to match coordinating sets. Okay. All right, removing these pins, the one thing we want to do is focus on removing the bulk. Clip off the ends, the corners. And if your seam seems a little large, a little wide, you can go ahead and trim that if you need to. Just gonna straighten that up. And I'm gonna make this a little bit smaller, my seam. Cut some of that off, no big deal. Okay, let's turn this right side out. Everything looks great. Turn it right side out. If you have a pencil with an eraser, you can use that to push through some of your corners. I'm going to grab my chopstick and turn this right side out. See, when it feels thick, I'm going to push down from the end of it instead of trying to grab the whole thing through at once. And when you push from the corner, it makes it a little easier. Okay. I've had this one can with me in this koozie, in this to use as a sample at my sewing location. And the can is actually really cold. So of course the temperature has dropped, but the idea is that the can cooler keeps your drink cool. It keeps it cold. All you gotta do is pop a beer or some type of drink from the refrigerator there. Okay, this looks great so far. Grab your iron so that you can flatten it out a little bit. Anytime you have multiple layers, because you see the thickness here, anytime you have multiple layers, I firmly believe in ironing it, because flattening it helps when you put it underneath your walking foot or your presser foot, when you put it under the foot to iron it. You are flattening those layers. Turn that side in. The part for closure, we want to turn that in. Okay. We want to close this all up. Pin it if you need to, but I'm just going to hold on to it because I'm going to start sewing from right here. We want to top stitch all the way around, 1/8 of an inch, all the way around all of the edges. It's thick enough where it's holding itself, so I don't need to hold on to it. But just because it's actually thick, I'm not starting in the corner like I normally would. So this fabric is so cute. I'm not a huge football fan, but if I were, this would probably be one of the fabrics that I would totally have all around the house. Probably because the colors are vibrant. This looks so good. I'm going to snip off my thread right here. Snip it off. Okay. And back stitch to finish off the project. So right now you have a rectangular shape of you don't know what. That's what you have right now. That's what you have. Okay, what we need to do now is we need to just add on the hook and loop onto the back and the front so that you are able to wrap it around your beverage. Okay, that's what we need to prepare right now, because if it were to wrap around, there's no way for it to stay wrapped. Okay, so let's focus on that. I'll cut my extra stragglies. I'll do that. Okay, so what we need to do is grab both parts of your hook and loop. Okay, we're going to be putting one, so you want about 4.5 inches. I'm going to cut mine about just a teeny, like a 1/4 inch more. About 4.5 inches, but you can decide. We're going to put one end of the hook and loop on one side, and you can choose. You can put it about 1/4 inch away from the edge, or you can put it closer. The other side, the other portion, we want to flip this and put it on put it on this side, the total opposite side. Okay, let's do that. But what I realized, what I want to do is I want to change the color of my thread, because I was using green here. So I am actually going to switch to white so that it shows up, because otherwise I'll have green stitching along my Velcro. I'm going to go for the white and leave green in my bottom bobbin. Maybe. I'm going to switch to white. Okay, I switched my thread, and what we want to do right now is, you can pin this if you would like to. I'll pin it just because I'm going to show you. When you pin this, you want to pin it lengthwise. You are going to be sewing, this is a small little space here, but you're going to be sewing along this portion of the tape, the very outer areas of the tape. Not on that scratchy part, but along the outside edges, all the way around. Okay? Make sure you backstitch a few times, because you are going to be opening and closing this a lot. You're going to get constantly. So you want to definitely make sure that you backstitch at the beginning and the end at least 2 or 3 times. This is why you want to put your pin so that it's lengthwise, so that it doesn't interfere with you sewing. Anytime I have stress points, I like to give extra love. You're almost done with your koozie. Now, of course, if I wasn't here talking to you, you could be done with this really quickly, but I'm talking you through it. All right, let's do the other side. This is how it looks. My pin mark will go away, but you can see my stress points. That's what you want, because you're going to constantly be opening and closing it. So now I'm going to flip this over, and on the other side, I'm just lining it up so I can see that it's around the same distance. Pinning it. I'm going to do the same thing to this side. You got to get it to stick up. Okay, there it is. Okay, same thing. Give it that extra love. And go down one more stitch. Extra love. Extra love. And the final stretch. Okay. These will be pretty cool for you to use on game day. I mean, how cute would that be if the family took a picture with you using your drinks and everybody has matching cup holders? How cool would that be? Look, everybody can have matching cup coolers, matching can coolers. Okay, so pick a cool design, whether it's your favorite team that's playing this weekend, or, you know, football print, or, okay, anything cool. Make some can coolers. All right, what else do I have for you? The other things that I mentioned to you that are quick and easy to sew that you can do. I mean, this was only like 10 minutes, right? If I wasn't talking to you. The other things, fabric coasters. Of course, you can do this. I have a tutorial on that. If you haven't seen it, you can check out the Christmas video. Quick things, matching. If somebody doesn't use a can, this way your wooden table is not being soaked with the beer or whatever it is somebody's drinking. Okay, these are pretty cool. Make them in set. 5 minutes to make. All right, let's talk about this. Centerpiece. A cool centerpiece. What this is, if you've seen my placemat tutorial, this is just a circular placemat. I use the same materials that I used in the placemat. So this is Pellon 809 inside, and this is a little stiffer. I mean, you can still fold it, but in order for you to, store away. But the point is, it makes it stiffer, the Pellon 809. Okay, you can put this in the middle of your table. Put some snacks or something on it, or hey, make this as the placemat for the family. We have this one. This is a larger circle. Okay. Now, the idea with this, if you haven't seen my bowl holder tutorial, go ahead, take a look at the bowl holder tutorial. The other thing is, if you're thinking about pot holders, you can look at that tutorial that I have, how to make a pot holder. Okay. The reason I mentioned the two of them is because this right here is a plate warmer. If you have chips and cheese, chips and dip, you want to heat up those chips, the dip in the microwave, right? You can make this. This is just a larger size. This is an 11 inch. That's a 13 inch. You can make one of these. so that this can go in your microwave and come out and have that hot bowl of cheese with the chips that you don't ever have to touch. I'm trying to think of what other hot thing. Oh, if you make bean dip, the bean dip with the sour cream and beans that people make. Now the difference between the bowl holder and the pot holder video when making this is that if it's going in the microwave, you want to use only 100% cotton, 100% thread, 100% batting inside, like the Wrap and Zap, okay? If you just want to leave it on your table, for a placement, okay, what you want to do is add the Insulbrite. The Insulbrite that's inside of here, this cup holder, this can cooler, the Insulbrite keeps things, it reflects back heat and cold back to its source. The Insulbrite is going to keep your can cold here, but if you put Insulbrite here, whatever you put on top of this, whether you put something hot on it, like the bean dip or cheese dip, or if you put a fruit salad or veggie dip on top of this, it's going to stay cold. So if you put something hot on it, it's going to stay warm. If you put something cold, it's going to stay cold or cool. This cannot go in the microwave if you put the Insulbrite. Read your directions, okay? If you want it to go in the microwave, remember 100% cotton. Everything 100% cotton, even the thread. And then you can treat it like a bowl holder. But the layers here, super easy. Follow the placemat tutorial. Last but not least, this, a table runner. Okay, the table runner. Imagine this being just an oversized placemat. Check out that placemat tutorial. The only difference with this is that I put a Pero interface inside of it instead of the Pelon 809. So the table runner, just to be able to, lay it across the table, but then be able to fold it, because let's be real, how often are you, unless you love football, how often are you going to use the placemat, right? This is set up to have like a pretty display. All right, so the table runner, you just need to measure the length of your table, the width. So I did mine, if you're looking at the picture, I did mine, my final measurements are 12 by 70, my final measurements. My table is longer, but it's not a regular table runner that I actually wanted the runner to extend the whole length of the table. So you decide how long you want it or how short you want it, but these are awesome. So you have some really cool, quick ideas. The bowl holder, you can check that out because again, you can use the bowl holder. That's pretty cool. The large plate warmer, or I should say cooler warmer. It's just what you put in it. You have the placemat, the centerpiece placemat. You have the table runner, the can cooler, and the fabric coasters. Each of those projects you can do in under 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes. 1 hour of decorating. Get to sewing. I will see you back here for the next video. Thank you for stopping by. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead, hit the button because I'm helping you make things for your friends and family. All right? And I walk you through it. All right? If you have questions, put them down below. I'll see you guys for the next video.